Hello and welcome to another CodeIgniter tutorial video. Today we'll add in the ability to use a discount code in our checkout. So we'll start straight away. The first thing we'll need is a table in our database. So if we come into pt150, now I've already created this table just for quickness. So we need, in our database, we need another table called discounts temp. This will be a temporary place to store the discount codes that our customers enter in. So our customer will enter it into a field on our site. We will process that code and store it here if it is a valid code. And then once they finish their checkout, we will remove it from this table. So we'll use this to process the customer's codes while they are going through checkout. So a table called discounts temp. We need 5 columns. The first one will be an ID with the primary key set as an integer and 11. Next thing we'll want is a customer ID, which we can set as an integer as well. Then the next thing we'll do is record the code that they have entered in. Here we'll just use text for that. Next thing we'll want is the set discount and the percent. Now if it is just a set discount, then our percent will be set to 0. And if we do have a percent, then our discount will be set to 0. So we do need both of these here. So our discount and the type for our discount will be text, and the percent can be saved in the database as text as well. So if we have these 5 columns here, if we add these to our database in a table called discounts temp, we can then start building a form on our front page that our customers can use to check their discount codes. So the very first thing we'll need is a form in this page right here. If we come into the root of our site here, and then into application, views, default, and if we open our checkout.php, if we come down to our checkout cart box, and just inside our checkout cart box div, we want to add in another wee div with an ID of discount box, and inside here we will just have a normal wee form, so php echo form open. And we'll point this form to our checkout controller and a discount function that we will make in a minute. Next thing we'll have is a label for our discount input, and here we'll let them know that that is for their discount code. And the next thing we'll have is an input type of text with the name of discount and an ID of discount. And then our submit button, which will say check code on the button. Then we can just close that form. And here we'll have some p tags just to give them a little bit more information. So to use a discount code, click check code before continuing through checkout. So here we want people to add their code through the form before they click confirm and pay. I'll just tidy this up a wee bit here. So a div with an ID of discount box, and inside there we will have a form with one input so as we can take our discount code and we can check that. So if we have a form right here, and save this file, upload it back to the server, and if we check our site here, we should have a form. There we go, we have a form right here. So the next thing we'll need is the function that checks our code through our form. So if we come into FileZilla, then we want to come into application controllers, and we want to open our checkout.php. So in our checkout.php, if we come all the way down to the bottom of our file here, we want to add in, just before that last curly bracket, we want to add in one extra wee function. So I'll paste this in and show you what we have. So public function discount, and the very first thing we want to do is check our customer ID. So we'll create a variable called customer ID, and we'll attach that to this session user data customer ID. And then we'll pass that customer ID over to a function in our model called remove code. It will check to see if a customer has put any discount codes in, and if they have, they will remove the code before processing the new code. That will make sure we don't end up with doubled up codes in our database. The next thing we'll want to do is check our form validation. So this load library form validation, and then we'll set our form validation rules up, which is only one field, and we want to trim that field, and that is required. And then the next thing we'll do is check to see if our form validation has run false, and if it has, we redirect them back to the checkout page. Else, if the form validation runs true, we want to process the code and save it into the database. So the first thing we'll do is create a code variable, and we'll attach that to this input post discount, and then we'll create another variable called CodeLC, which stands for code lowercase, and we'll take the code we've got from our input and we'll string that to lowercase. Next thing we'll do is set up a cars array which will contain any disallowed characters. So question marks, pound signs, dollar signs, curly brackets. We'll remove any punctuation at all because we should only have letters and numbers in our code. And here we'll set up a change. So if we find any of these disallowed characters, we will change them with nothing. Then we'll set out a discount code variable and attach that to a string replace function, which will take our lowercase code, remove any of the unwanted characters and replace them with our change. Next thing we want to do is create a code check variable, and we'll attach that to this checkout model check discount code, and here we'll pass over that discount code that we have just processed right here. And the next thing we want to do is check to see if we got anything back from the database. So if code check not equal to null, and then we know we have a code back from the database, then we want to for each through those codes as CC, CC just standing for code check. Then the next thing we want to do is create some variables from the information we've pulled back from our code check. If we have a code, we want to check our current time, so as we can check the current time against the start date and the end date. So we'll create a current time variable and we'll attach that to a string to time now, which will give us exactly what the time is right now. Next thing we'll do is create a start date, and we'll attach that to a string to time function. We will take the start date of the voucher we've got back from the database and we'll string that to time. And we'll do the same with the end date, so we'll create an end date variable and we'll attach that to a string to time function, which will take the end date that's in our database and string that to time, so as we can check that against our current time. Then the next thing we'll do is an if statement that will check our uses. So if CC uses is more than or equal to 1 and our current time is more than or equal to the start date, and our current time is less than or equal to the end date, that means we do have uses left and we are within the time frame. So if we do have uses left and we are in the time frame, we can use that voucher. So here we'll create a data array. We'll attach the customer ID to this, which will be this session user data customer ID. Here we will attach the code, and we'll use the code we've got back from the database. We'll attach the discount and the percent, and we'll use what information we get back from the database there too. So if it is a percent discount, our flat rate discount will be set to 0 and we will have a percentage. But if it is a flat rate discount, then our percent will be set to 0 and the item price for our discount will be in our flat rate discount column. And the next thing we want to do is add that to our discounts temp table in our database. So this checkout model, add customer code, and here we'll pass that data over we've built here, and if we look, that will save that right here in the database for us, so as we can then check that code and give our customer a discount. Else, if we have less than one use, or our start date or our end date don't match the date that we have for our current time, so if we are out of date on a voucher or we are out of uses on the voucher, then we will fire this else right here. So instead, our data array wants to contain the customer ID because we want to pin our code to our customer ID. If we do have something back from the database but we are out of uses and out of time, then we want to set our code as not valid. And obviously if it's not valid, our percent and our discount will be set to 0. And then we'll add that into the database again so as we can check that in our checkout. So with this checkout model, add customer code, and here we'll pass that data we've just built here. And then we'll redirect them back to the checkout again. So if we do have a code and the code is valid, we will store that valid code in the database, and if it's not valid, we'll store not valid in the database. Else, if code check not equal to null, and that does return null, then we don't have a code at all, and we'll just return them back to the checkout again. Then we'll close that else statement, and here we will close our else statement for our form validation, and then we'll close our discount function. So if we have that file sorted, we can save that. And before we carry on with our checkout.php, we want to add in the functions we've got in here in our model. So first of all, we have our checkout model remove code, we have our checkout model check discount code, and we have a checkout model add customer code. So we need to add those functions straight into our model. So if we come into application, models, and if we open our checkout_model.php, so the very first one we have here is a checkout model remove code where we pass over our customer ID. If we come into our checkout model, and if we come down to just above our get country code, I'll paste this in. So here we want a public function remove code, and here we'll pass over our customer ID here, and this DB where our customer ID equals the customer ID we have passed over. Then we will delete that entry from our discounts temp table, and that will remove any codes that have been previously put in. Now the next thing we want here is a check discount code function. Just under this, public function check discount code, and here we'll pass over that discount code that we've got in our controller. Here we'll set up a query and attach that query to this DB get where, and we'll get where the code is equal to the discount code inside our discount codes table. And then we'll return that query result. And then that will enable us to check through our codes and pull out the appropriate information. The next thing we'll need is our checkout model add customer code function. And here public function add customer code, and here we'll take the data we've got from here and we will insert that into our discount temp table in our database, and then we'll just return that function. And here we use that same function again. So as far as this public function discount is concerned, we have everything we need in our model, so we can save that, come back into our checkout, and if we come up to just above our public function index, we can then add in our function here that checks our discount codes. It's in our checkout model right above our public function index. I'll paste this in, and what we have is a public function get discounts. And here we'll create a customer ID variable, and we'll attach that to this session user data customer ID. Then we'll create a customer code variable which will check inside our database, and in the get customer code function we will pass over that customer ID and then check in our discounts temp folder to see if that customer does have a code. And here we'll check that variable that we've got back here. So if customer code not equal to null, and if it's not equal to null, we know that we do have a discount code for that customer. So we'll for each through that customer code as CC, CC just standing for customer code. And here we'll check if our code is not equal to not valid, which means then it is a valid code. And if it is a valid code, we want to set out our discount and our percent variables and attach that to the discount information and the percent we get back from the database. And we want to set a code variable which will take the code we have in the database and put it into a variable called code. Else, if our code is exactly equal to not valid, then we want to set a discount as 0, a percent is 0, and our code is not valid. And here we'll close our for each loop, and if our customer code not equal to null, and that actually returns null, then we want to set out our discount as 0, a percent is 0, and our code as no code, because we don't have a code. Then the next thing we want to do is create a discounts variable, and we'll attach that to an array, and inside the array we can pass over those variables we've built either here, here, or here, depending on what our if statements have done. So we'll pass in our discount and our percent and our code. and then we will return that variable. So you have a way to put our discount codes into the database. We have a way to check that our discount code exists and a way to pull out the appropriate information. So the next thing we'll need to do then is use that information in our index and our pay function. So for our public function index, we want to pass over our information right here into our page data array. So here we'll add an extra line, so we'll create a discounts variable and we'll attach that to this get discounts, which will return this array right here from our get discounts function. And if we have that there, we want to pass over into this array right here the code we have. So code equals discount code, which will grab the code from this discounts variable here. We want to put in a percent, which will be discounts percent, and we want our flat rate discount here as well, which will be discounts discount. So if we have these three here, and we have that call to our function, and we have a function right here, we can save this file and add to our checkout view, so as we can display that code and the appropriate discount. So if we come into our checkout view, and if we come down to the bottom of our file, and right inside our div class of cart item cost, we want to add some stuff just here, just above our total and just under our items cost. We want to add some stuff in here. And what I've added in is just this right here. So we'll check to see if is set code, and if we do have a code, we'll check to see if a percent is equal to 0. So percent not equal to 0, and if a percent isn't equal to 0, we know we have a percentage discount we want to process. So we'll create a discount amount, and here we'll create a sprintf function that will check to see that we have 2 places after our decimal point, and here we'll add our discount total and our option total together, because we need to figure out what the percentage of this total is in order to create a discount, because we are using a percentage here, right? So the next thing we'll do is create a discount amount 1 variable, and we'll take a discount amount that we created here, we'll divide that by 100 in order to get our 1%. Next thing we'll do is create a discount amount 2 variable, and here we'll take our discount amount 1 that we've created here, and we'll multiply that by the percentage that we've got from our code, and that will give us the percentage discount, you see. Then we'll create a cart total A variable, and we'll attach that to a sprintf function, and inside there we will take our cart total and we will take off the discount amount that we have. Then here we'll have an if statement that will check to see if our cart total A is less than or equal to 0, and if it is, we'll set out our cart total as 0 plus our option total and our option total B. Else, if our cart total A is more than 0, then we want to set out our cart total variable, and we'll attach that to our cart total A plus our option total. Else, percentage discount is equal to 0, which means then we have a set price discount. So we want to create a cart total A variable and attach that to a sprintf function. And inside our sprintf function, we'll take our cart total and add on our option total, and we will remove our set discount price. And here again, we'll check to see if our cart total A is less than or equal to 0, and if it is, we will set our cart total as 0. Else, if it's more than 0, we'll set our cart total as our cart total A that we have created here. Else, if our code is not set, then our cart total is just this cart total plus our options total. So right underneath our cart total, we want to let them know that if they have a code, we want to display that they have a code. So here we'll have a if statement that will check to see if our code is not equal to no code. We'll check again to see if our code is not equal to not valid. And then if it's not equal to no code and not equal to not valid, then we will display the code that they are using. So echo using discount code, and we'll display the voucher number that they have. Or if the discount code is not valid, we will echo discount code not valid. So before we check, what we need to do is put in this function right here into our model. So we'll check out model, get customer code, and we will pass that customer ID over. So if we come into our checkout model and just underneath our add code, we'll add this in, and what we have is a public function get customer code, and here we'll take the customer ID and we'll check to see if the customer ID matches the customer ID inside our discounts temp table, and we'll return that query result. So the very last thing we want to do here is just change our total here. Our total adds up our shipping cost, our option total, and this cart total, but we have processed this cart total here, and we've changed that to a variable called cart total. So if we copy this, and right here we want to paste right over the top of this here, and if we save that, we can check our front end. So if we upload this back to the server, and if we add in a code here, and click check code, and if we check in our shopping cart with one item in it, and we have a discount code of test code here, we have the appropriate 20% that has been taken off of our total. So that works. The next thing we need to do is add to our confirm and pay function. So if we come back into our checkout again and into our public function pay, and right above here we want to add in our call to our get discounts function. So we'll create a discounts variable and we'll attach that to this get discounts, and that will pull in the information we've got from our function at the top of the file. So underneath our original date and before our data array, we want to add in a wee bit more here, and what we want to add in is this right here. So we'll check an if statement to see if our discounts percent is not equal to 0, and if it's not equal to 0 we want to do the same as we did in our view. So if we have a percent, we want to check, we want to create a variable called discount amount, and we'll attach that to a sprintf function, and inside there we'll take this cart total and we'll add on our options total. Then we'll create a discount amount 1 variable, and here we'll sort out what 1% of this is right here. Discount amount divided by 100, and that will give us 1%. Then we take our discount amount 2, and then we multiply that 1% by the percentage that we have in our voucher. So discount amount 1 multiplied by discounts percent, and that should give us our whole discount for our percentage. So the next thing we'll do is create a cart total A variable, and we'll attach that to a sprintf function, and inside there we'll take this cart total and we'll subtract our discount amount 2 from that, which will be the percentage that we have sorted here. Then we'll check to see if our cart total A is less than or equal to 0, and if it is, then we'll create a cart total variable, and here we'll add a 0, which will be our discount, to our options option total. Else we'll set out a cart total variable and we'll add our cart total A onto our options option total. Or if discounts percent is equal to 0, then we have a flat rate discount and we want to process it like this. So we'll create a cart total A variable and we'll attach that to this cart total plus options option total minus our discount, which will be our flat rate discount. And here we'll check to make sure that we don't have a 0 value. So if cart total A is less than or equal to 0, then we'll set our cart total as 0. Else we'll set our cart total as our cart total A, which we have created here. And in this array right here, we want to add into our cost, it won't be the cart total anymore, it will be the cart total that we have processed, so it will be the cart total variable that we have created in this function just here. So we can save the discount into the database. And in this array we will just use a quantity discount field. We should just change that to discount. We'll do that later. But just now we want to add in then the discount code that has been used, so as we can record that as well as the discounted price in our cost field. So the next thing we'll need to do is, if we come down to our pay function right here, we want to change our discount rate and our discount amount cart here, and here we want to just create a wee if statement that will check to see if our discounts percent is not equal to 0, and if it's not equal to 0 we'll use our discount rate cart, and here we'll pass over that discount percentage. Else, if our discount percent is equal to 0, then we know we are using a set amount, so config discount amount cart, and then we'll pass over our flat rate discount amount. And there is one last wee thing we need to do. If we come down under here, and after we send our information to PayPal and we pay them, right after our this cart destroy, we want to process any of the codes that are left in the database. So we'll create a customer ID variable and we'll attach that to this session user data customer ID. And then we'll check to see if our discount code is not equal to not valid and our discount code is not equal to no code. And then we'll remove that code from the database. So this checkout model, remove code, and we'll remove that customer code with the appropriate customer ID. Then we'll create a code variable and we'll attach that to our discounts code. You will create a get code variable and we'll attach that to this checkout model get code, and we'll return that code from the database. The reason why we need to do that is because we need to update the uses. So well, for each through the code we get back, so for each get code as GC, which just stands for get code, here we'll create a variable called updated uses, and we'll take the amount of uses that we have in that code and we'll just remove one. And then we'll create a data array, and inside here we will just have our uses and our updated number. And then this checkout model update uses, and we'll take that data and the code and we'll update that code with the data we have here, which will then remove one use from that code. Now if we look in our model, we already have our remove code function, so what else we need here is our update uses and our get code. So inside our model, come down to just above our get country code here, and I'll paste these two in, and here we have our public function get code, and here we'll pass the code over that we have, and where the code equals the code we have, we'll return that query from our discount codes table, and we'll return that query result. And our update uses function will take the data we created in our controller and the code that we have, and where the code equals that code, we will update that entry in our discount codes table. So if we have both of these, we can save that, and if we have this in our checkout as well, we can save this file as well. If we upload these back to the server again and come on to the front of our site, if we click confirm and pay, we should have that 20% discount passed over to PayPal for us. There we go, we are now at PayPal and we have the appropriate price displayed and we have the appropriate discount being passed over. So that works perfectly well. So the next job we have to do is to add to our invoice system so as we can display the code here. Now we already saved the appropriate price in our invoice system, but we don't display the fact that they have used the code. So we'll carry on with that in the next video and tidy up our invoice system and our admin system. So we'll call it a day for today, and if you liked this video, please click subscribe and I'll see you again next time. Thank you.